Spiritually awake people are quietly disappearing from society because Jung discovered something profound. When you become genuinely conscious, staying engaged with unconscious social patterns becomes psychologically unsustainable. But this withdrawal serves a specific purpose. It's temporary recharging that allows awakened individuals to return and offer authentic connection to those ready for deeper relationships. There's a mass exodus happening that most people don't recognize. The most psychologically developed individuals in your workplace, your social circles, your family, they're quietly stepping back, not from anger or superiority, but from what Jung called consciousness fatigue. Jung predicted this pattern over a century ago. He understood that psychological awakening creates what I call dimensional incompatibility. You're operating from a different level of awareness than the collective social environment. And maintaining that consciousness while surrounded by unconscious patterns requires enormous psychological energy. If you've been feeling the pull to withdraw, to need more solitude, to find social interaction draining in ways it never used to be, Jung would say you're not becoming antisocial. You're following an archetypal pattern that every individuating person must navigate. The consciousness burden. Why awakening creates isolation. Psychological development doesn't make life easier, it makes it more complex. When you begin seeing unconscious patterns operating in yourself and others, you can't unsee them. This creates what Jung's private journals describe as the weight of seeing. Picture yourself at a dinner party where everyone's having animated political discussions, but you've done enough inner work to recognize that most passionate political opinions are really psychological projections. People externalizing their internal conflicts onto social issues. You can see how each person's childhood wounds are shaping their worldview, how their unintegrated shadow determines their enemies. You're not judging them. You've been there yourself. But you can no longer participate in the unconscious drama because you see the underlying psychological dynamics at play. Jung wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." But his personal correspondence reveals the profound loneliness this brings. You're awake in a room full of people talking in their sleep. Jung's own psychological crisis taught him this directly. As his consciousness expanded during his confrontation with the unconscious, normal social interaction became increasingly unbearable, not from arrogance, but from the sheer energetic effort required to bridge different levels of awareness. This explains why awakened people often describe feeling like aliens in their own social environments. They're speaking a different psychological language, seeing different dimensions of reality, operating from fundamentally different assumptions about what's real and what matters. Every conversation demands you pretend you don't see what you see, don't understand what's really happening beneath surface interactions. The translation effort becomes exhausting. The energy drain of unconscious environments. When you're conscious, you become what Jung's patient files describe as an unconscious material processor. You're no longer just managing your own psychological content. You're automatically picking up, filtering, and processing the unconscious projections, shadows, and emotional residue that others are leaking. Think about what happens energetically when a conscious person enters an unconscious space. Others' projected emotions feel like your own emotions. Shadow material people avoid in themselves becomes visible to you. Persona performances everyone maintains create psychological static. Collective anxiety about unspoken topics saturates the environment.